please remember to leave a like, a comment, share the video about, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Thank you. Hello everyone, welcome back to Omegon 2 Electric Boogaloo. We're doing another response video, people, and we are going to, for the second week in a row, cover the very person we covered last week. More than Tracy T on TikTok, because some of her responses to criticisms are quite amusing to me. And during this video, I get to articulate certain points as a fellow creator in how to best handle detractors, naysayers, critics, haters, whatever you want to call them, really.
I have a theory that this goes back to eugenics. Let me explain.
You're going to do the thing where you're going to try and act smarter than you are after a quick Google search, aren't you? This is called deflection. You see, when we get criticism, we take it on board and we handle it, process, and then convey a response a number of ways. For many, it is very binary. It is, I'm on the internet, I'm tough, I'm going to clap back. The other is, I'm going to block you now, I'm smarter than you, blah 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 blah, rabble rabble rabble, not addressing the criticism in the slightest. I wonder which one you are.
Basically, the idea of the girl who eats so much, and that's so cool because she's not caught up in all the girly diet stuff. She can actually hang with you like a person, like one of your bros. She's everything, she's the whole package.
Haha, so you're the latter. Who'da thunk it? Fun fact. As a fellow creator, I've often found that if you only ever seek to respond, even because it's easy content, to negative comments, others will see that and realize they can poke, prod, they can troll, they can lol at your expense because they know you're an easy mark. I have fallen prey to it in the past because I will admit negative comments tickle me, but at the same time it can come across as someone who has lolcow-worthy tendencies. We pick our battles and we choose them very selectively. On this channel, I reply to as many people as I can. I want everyone to know I pay attention, basically. But generally speaking, if all you do is respond only to the negatives, which is what you do a lot on your page, your TikTok page that is, and yes, I pay enough attention, all you do is tell us you are not interested in the discourse, you are only interested in the free content that makes sod all in money. Let's not forget here you make bugger all on TikTok. Sod all for that, you're just doing it because it's easy views, which you can then use to promote your podcast and your Patreon.
Depends on the fact that that girl is naturally thin.
I will concede all humans come in various different shapes and sizes. Some are not designed or built because of the nature of their bodies to be anywhere near as svelte as others, but you are still laboring under a delusion that everything is strictly binary of thin and or fat. There really is a middle ground, and there are extremes on both sides. There are in-betweens. There really are. There are many, in fact. Again, it's why humans come in various shapes and sizes. Height plays a big factor in that as well. None of this changes the fact that no one wants to have sex with you though. Just thought I'd put that in there from the first video, because you still think it's bigoted that no one wants to have sex with you.
Because fat girls are never that ideal.
That is a lie. There are many people of many gender identities, faiths, sexualities who like people for their size. It is to an extent a fetish. In fact, it is a full-out fetish for those who like to feed other people. It is not uncommon for there to be one very large person and one very skinny person. Your very narrow-mindedness is coming to the surface right now with your pseudo-intellectual attempt at trying to make it seem more complicated than it is. I'm assuming it's been a while, and this is why you're trying it.
And part of that ideal is the miracle of that, wow, she's so low maintenance, and yet she's still hot and I want to bang her.
Even if I piece together the 4 parts I've used as a part of this response video and make it one thing, all you've done is bitch about the fact that someone has a better metabolism than you. That's what it is. An incredible saltiness that someone else can eat more than you can. And I can empathize with the issue concerning metabolism. Mine has always been quite slow. As I've gotten older, it's not going to improve too much, but you often find there are ways of stimulating the metabolism by eating better. The body's natural metabolism comes to the surface. We learn our limitations. Remember when I said humans come in all different shapes and sizes? Yeah, that natural metabolism plays a part. There is a way to stimulate it a little, but you can't actually improve upon it. I could do the science for you, but I don't want to. I don't care enough. I like chocolate. and I'll happily run on a treadmill for 30 minutes to burn it off.
Like, part of why this girl is a marvel is that she can eat whatever she wants and never gain weight. And that's what makes her desirable. That's what makes her like a rare, special, unique find.
I won't deny there is quite the attractive quality to knowing a girl can essentially do a mukbang and not put on much weight. However, there is a finite resource concerning Korean women, a number of whom, quite a large number of whom, do mukbangs on YouTube and are all quite small and skinny, eating monstrous portions of food. In the business that I frequent, this is more commonly known as coping. We should do awards for this. We really should. You would do quite well. The salt mines right now are working overtime on account of you. You can blame, by the way, your inability to eat all those large amounts of food on your water retention, if you like. High sodium does that.
So the ideal of never gaining weight but still eating whatever you want depends on having a fast metabolism.
You know, for the most part, it is a very small number of people within society who can ever go through life, or more notably through a significant portion of it, without putting on much weight. Don't forget here, the entire body regenerates. The bones change as well. They get denser as we get older, meaning our weight will go up anyway. And the only time it will come down is when we're not fed in a care home. You see how your real point of metabolism being this whole, oh, but they can eat so much, sounds like a whole lot of from you, because you may have to put in more effort to look like them, believing that they are the gold standard for beauty. Beauty is not just on the outside, it's on the inside, and if what we see from you manifesting from your inside to the outside is a supreme state of arrogant ugliness, not many are going to find you attractive.
Which, obviously, not everybody does. That's why this girl is such a marvel. And all those other girls who count calories and order salads at the restaurant on the date, those girls don't have a naturally fast metabolism.
I don't suppose you have a citation to back that up, do you? Because on the face of it, it comes across as a very weak assertion. You can surely do better than that.
And they are therefore inferior to the girl who will eat the burger.
Burgers are pretty good, but I would say that the girl is only better if she eats a steak and drinks whiskey. Any other is inferior and therefore must be neutralized.
What's attractive about her is that she doesn't worry about how she looks and it seems effortless. What's attractive about her is that she has the genetics that make her naturally skinny no matter what she eats.
Yep, tastes like salt.
And obviously, fat people are completely outside of this too, because if a fat person is eating whatever they want, is the chill, low maintenance guy's girl, it's seen as either gross or she's like kind of desexualized in like a one of the bros kind of way.
You couldn't be more incorrect than if you spelt colour without the letter U. Again, you are making assertions, but you are not thinking this through. You are not giving all possible context. You are not giving all possible answers or explanations. You are assuming the worst, because apparently it's been a really dry spell for you.
It is not a selling point of her romantic desirability because she inherently has none. And if a fat person is worried about what they eat and is counting calories and ordering a salad on the date, that's even worse, because then she's like the worst of both worlds. Not only does she not look the way you want her to, but she acts the way that you don't want her to.
Or it could be that she is seeking to improve upon herself and is trying to lead by an example to show you, the person going on a date with her, that she is genuinely trying to do something better for herself. That is seen, by the way, as an attractive quality. Many people, male or female, really appreciate dating somebody who is a work in progress. You can't always date the complete package, because not everyone is Lex Luger. Additionally, you really don't think, for some odd reason, that those that are not skinny, average, stocky, so fatty, you seem to think that they're all eunuchs in some manner, truly incapable of having sex. Wow, you really are desperate, aren't you? Do you want us to go find you a gigolo?
And she still doesn't look the right way. So the idea is, if you can find 2 for 2, you've got a cat. And having 2 for 2, again, depends on having a genetically fast metabolism.
Are we doing this massive deflection as a means of trying to make it seem like you're being more body positive, as a reason to explain why things are so dry for you, which is why you're making the content you make to clap back at the naysayers? Is that what this is? All about the metabolism? Have you just been learning about it? I'm going to go ahead and assert your intentions are then to move on to the complete endocrine system, because you're apparently quite dull. This might be another reason why it's been dry for you.
And I'm not a scientist.
Obviously.
But we can talk about who that usually applies to and who usually has the genetically faster metabolisms. But let's just say there's a theory that for a lot of historically marginalized groups, or even just peasants, their bodies evolved to hold on to as much weight as possible.
In the case of peasants, it is a false equivalence to compare them to yourself or people like you now, because you have access to all the foods you could ever want, the lifestyle you want, the personal choices are all on you. For the peasant, no. As someone that grew up in a family that lived hand to mouth, where you had the knockoff of knockoff quality foods, you really do fight for as much food as you can get your hands on, because it's not the easiest, and you hold on to it because you know damn well you cannot afford to waste it. Your body knows that too. How do you compare that to you? Narcissism 101, everyone. Must use history to seem smarter than I am.
And that's why they easily gain and don't easily lose. And lest we forget, all of fat phobia is rooted in anti-blackness and a fear of looking like black people, and white people started trying to be skinny to separate themselves from black people.
You left it right to the end to drop a zinger. That's classy. Revisionist history as well, I like that. There are many debates about that kind of stuff, and I don't care enough to get into it. I just think for all of it, it's a magnanimous point by some prick who thinks they're smarter than they actually are, using pseudo-intellectual attempts at clutching at straws to cope and get salty, while justifying it 'cause you haven't had sex in a long, long time. Alright.